All right, Panther fans, here we go. This is the last one, the finale for the player improvement series. Because I looked at the schedule, I looked at the calendar and I looked at the schedule, and we've got 11 days until exhibition season. So it's time to start making some hockey videos. Not that this isn't hockey, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so today's video is Mackenzie Weegar. I've got Stu here with me. And even though the subject of the video is technically how can Mackenzie Weegar improve, collectively Stu and I have well, we almost have nothing. we in other words, just do what you did again, kid, right, Stu?
Yeah, I mean, the kid had a great year. Surprised a lot of people. Didn't surprise me. But if he stays and continues to do what he does, I mean, he's hopefully going to have Ekblad back the whole season. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just I'm really chomping at the bit to see what those two can do together. I'm more inclined to see what Ekblad's going to do this year.
Right.
And,
Well, the thing I looked at, because I always look at the numbers to see if I can find any kind of angle that might and nothing sticks out other than excellence. The first thing that stuck out to me was here's a kid that's playing in the top defensive pair, and he's a plus 29. And he did that, with however long it was with Ekblad being out. And then I looked at, his points production. Go ahead.
That's a mind blower.
Yeah.
Plus 29. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Plus 29 is I I don't know how he did that. He had 36 points. So to be at a plus 29, there's not a lot of goals against being scored on the ice when those two are on the ice. And, points production wise, I looked at it, and he had one four game streak and 1 7-game streak with no points. But the rest of the game, everything is just evenly spread out with this kid. Very, very even, very, very consistent. The only inconsistency we really saw in him, and which is really the only place we could see where he could improve, was in the playoffs. But then again, without Ekblad, he suddenly just had to get thrown out there as the number one defenseman against the Cup champions. And he did inconsistent. When he was good, he was good. And then when he was trying to do too much, it wasn't as good.
Exactly. He definitely tried to do too much. He put on I'm the man hat in the playoffs.
Right.
Instead of just trying to play, the team game. But whatever, the guys, imagine the 206 pick in the 7th round.
Right.
We struck gold for once.
Yeah. Finally, after that kind of makes up for all of the first round picks that we won't mention that are no longer on the team.
It was a cool stat, Eric, and I said, and I tweeted on it. He led the league in takeaways.
Right.
And I don't know what, I don't know if it was 32%. And I have to read what the meaning of the stat was. But
right. Yeah.
Erik Karlsson was the next guy at 29. So he pretty much dominated the defenseman in takeaways. There was another stat, and again, I'd have to go back and see what it was where he led the league. So, he's definitely put himself up in the top echelon of defensemen. All these ratings that you've seen the NHL network or whatever put out there.
Right.
He's right up there. So, I mean, we now have Ekblad and Weegar.
Right. And I've seen a few people, a smattering, not an abundance, but I've seen a few people that actually like Weegar better than Ekblad, which to me might be a bit of a push, but at the same time, we're beating the brush and beating the bushes to look for how he can improve. And as far as his play when Ekblad was on the ice, those two, the symmetry and the chemistry that they had was just damn near perfect, really. And I mean, just do it again. If somehow he could take even another leap, because this is the season, obviously this past year, he took a big leap. If he even improves just as a player overall at anything close to that same clip, then you will be talking about a guy that could get Norris votes, really, if he wasn't playing with another guy that could get Norris votes.
Here's how I think he can improve, because he definitely made some really bad decisions on occasion with the puck.
Right.
He's got to stay in his defensive lane. He can't try and do too much, and he can't lose his assignment.
Right.
So too many times where, again, just trying to do too much where, he let his man go. And, there was a number of times in the playoffs he did that. And you could see the shot on TV of him either swinging his stick or looking down or knowing that he blew it.
So,
that's an opportunity. There's always an opportunity to get better. I said it on the Ekblad review that we did. Ekblad has probably put in hundreds of hours, even in his garage. I know he's got that workout situation in his garage, just taking slap shots, those one-timers.
Which I will
always... And again, his skating.
Yeah.
So, we never see really so much behind the scenes on what these guys do, especially in the off season to get better.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm like, I think what would benefit the two of them, would be to split them up.
Oh, all right.
I'd like to see a more balanced instead of having them both on the first pair. Again, I go back to the lefty-righty combination.
You want Forsling with Ekblad, right?
That would be my first choice, but if it was Forsling and Weegar, who plays with Ekblad?
Right. I see what.
Not Gudis.
Not Gudis. Right.
So,
well, then who plays? If you put Forsling,
we have those three right-handed shots.
Right.
So the key is finding another left-handed shot. That could play at the level with an Ekblad or Weegar.
Right.
And I think Forsling is the guy that could be the first D with Ekblad. It's like, who would play with Weegar?
Yeah, that's the biggest question.
I don't know if Q's going to take that chance with a Kerstedt or Nudavaro or Juleson or any of the other guys that we have. So
the way I see it,
that's just me playing coach.
Yeah, the way I see all of that is I think we're going to go with the guys we have right now. I think Q is going to he probably will try a few mix and matches but I think at the end of it, we're still the final top four defensemen that we're going to go into the playoffs with, in my opinion, not on the roster yet. I think there's still one guy to be had. I think as we get on in the season, if any one of these kids, the Anasinko, Heponiemi, can even come close to matching the score of a Vetrano, I think we'll end up having to move Vetrano to get a top four defenseman in that will fit the mold that you're talking about, so that we've got the two genuine top pairs. Not that
that's why I would have liked to have seen us get Ryan Suter.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a good, fit or good top four guy.
Right.
But we didn't.
No. And then I think that's because, excuse me. And this is just a thought process, my opinion on it. But I get the feeling like because we've got so many guys that you've mentioned, like a Kirsten, like a Juleson, like a Nudavara. We've got so many guys that the team is going to be good enough, and we could take a chance. The first, when's the trading deadline? Like game 60 or somewhere around there. So it's not like we're going to hurt ourselves by throwing those guys out there and giving them an opportunity to prove, especially Kirsten. That's the kid that really, I was looking yesterday. He's still really young. He's still,
and I've said it to you early on. I'm big on that kid.
Yeah. So if he can take a jump,
he might be the surprise that comes out of training camp.
Right. And if he can take the jump, then we're not paying full price. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're kind of looking at is the player that won't be mentioned that's eating up a lot of cap. As you've pointed out, probably isn't going anywhere. So we have to find ways to work within that budget that we have until we don't have that budget anymore. So I
could see him playing with Weegar, having a strong right side.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see Kierstead having the pressure to move up and be in the top two.
No,
and that's where I think that's why I know Forsling could easily step into that top 2 role.
Right.
And do a good job. Obviously, he did it with Weegar. He could do it with Ekblad.
Yeah.
I know. If you're hearing me, put Forsling with Ekblad. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, you want as long as that'd be the happiest video ever made when opening day comes out and Forsling's with Ekblad and Tippett's online too. That'd be the happiest video ever.
But can you imagine? Let's just hypothetically say, I get my wish, and Forsling and Ekblad play together, and they tear it up in the first 10, 15 games.
Right. No, hey, look. That it would work out. It would work out for us tremendously, because if we don't have to pay, what's a top 4 defenseman going to cost us? 4 or 5? You know what I mean?
4 or 5 million. It's not happening.
Right.
It's
not
happening.
Not with Vetrano. Yeah, not with Vetrano on the roster. That's for sure.
As far as the defense goes, this is the team we have.
Right.
The question is, who's going to come out of those 4 or 5 guys and shine enough and be the guy that they, that they make in the top 6.
Yeah. And this is a typical.
And then once that guy's in the top 6, then Q can play around a little bit.
Yeah. So it's a typical Eric and Stu video. We started off the video by talking about how good Mackenzie Weegar is, and by the end of the video, we want him on the second pair. So,
all right, but you know what? Really, I'll put it in a nutshell. What can Mackenzie Weegar do to improve? Not much.
Not much. Exactly.
Just tighten up things a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if we want him to improve, if he can watch this video and then be like, "What? Second pair my ass," and then maybe that'll motivate him to become a superstar.
Hey, can we diverse a little bit, or on the side road here?
We'll go on the side road.
I want to talk about this Mike Kelly snippet that was on Tippett. Mike Kelly's an analyst for the NHL Network. First guy.
I just changed the title of the video.
"Quote unquote" hockey pundit or whatever.
Right.
That predicted the Panthers are going to win the cup.
Yeah. So
and he basically laid it out why, and that's like
Yeah.
You get an audience of the NHL Network, the millions and millions of fans out there, and I put a tweet out there about it. But I think as the Panthers, if they do what they need to do and start off the season as I'm hoping and as I predicted that they need to do, that strong first 20-25 games, you're going to start hearing a lot more about, hey, boys and girls, Panthers are for real.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of other people's previews. I'm trying not to overplay the homer card, so not to give anything away, but I don't have us winning the cup in my prediction video, which will be out probably this week, next week, whenever I get it done. But the thing I liked about it, and that's what I tweeted out, was that he mentioned it because he feels Spencer Knight is the guy unless Bob returns to his old form, and I had a discussion on Twitter about this, and
Knight's the guy.
Knight's got to be the guy, because on one hand, you want Bob to return to the form he was at, but on the other hand, when you look at his playoff stats, even when he played that way in the regular season, no. So I just want him to play good enough to where he can split with Knight, but Knight's the playoff guy. Knight's got to be the playoff guy. And Q has seen enough, I believe. He certainly hasn't seen anything to discourage him from playing Knight. I think if Knight continues to play the way he did last season, he's got to be the playoff guy. He's the big game guy. Where Bob, unfortunately, has had 8 chances. 8.
Well, I mean, listen. You went over Bob's playoff record. But listen, Matt Murray did it for Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I can't remember the other goalie that comes to mind right now. It was for St. Louis. What was his name?
Bennington.
Yeah. So he did it for young guys.
Right.
Matt Murray's what, 20? Knight's in that category.
Right.
Knight is the guy.
Yep.
Eric Knight is the guy.
Yep.
So it's a question of, again, it's going to start with winning the division and then just rolling from there, taking, one series after another.
Yeah.
When we get to the finals, and listen, this kid's been in pressure situations before. I'm not worried. He's really cool as can be. He just, goes about doing his job, making it look easy. Yep. It's going to be the rest of the team. And it's a question of, above all else, what's the desire factor? How does the desire factor come in? And I think that, after losing to Tampa, as I told you in the last video, I just think these guys, look how many guys are at the rink working out. I'm not talking about development camp. They're pretty much all here, and it's a few weeks before training camp even starts.
Now I want to clue you in on a little something. I took the dagger for this one, so you'll know. Apparently this year, the person on Twitter who you were not allowed to criticize at all is going to be Anton Lundell. So just he gets a pass for this year. Trust me when I tell you, okay, do not criticize that kid about anything. They will come for you. That's every year there's somebody. Every year there's one person, and he's the guy this year.
Well, anybody that follows me on Twitter can go back to my timeline 5 months ago, whenever right around the draft, and I was talking about watching Anton Lundell videos.
Right.
And this was the guy we had to have. And when he got drafted, I was like, how the hell did we get him? How the hell did he drop to 12th? But he's here. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Just a question of who's going to play with him and how is the chemistry going to be? Again, that's always a key factor. But people are, I'm not going to say catching on, but they're seeing things.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
No, and everything I've heard and seen about him absolutely agrees with that.
Watch the YouTube. Just watch his YouTube videos.
Right.
In the I posted one the other day. You can watch that one.
Okay.
But he's just in the right place at the right time. His shot he's got a killer shot. So
and we've certainly.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. So
and we've got the wingers for him too. We've got take your pick. You could put him on with Vetrano. You could put him on with Duclair. You could put Hornquist up there. You could even put Thornton up there for a game or two. Then you still got Denisenko. You got Heponiemi. Marchment would fit up there. It's crazy. It's crazy. The depth that we have at forward, and the training camp is just going to be, and it's so quick. Training camp, you just like before you know it, they've started. It's like they come in at 8:00 by noon. They're playing the exhibition game, and like at 5:00 the roster's out, and they take a day off, and then the next day is the real games. That's how fast NHL hockey training camp goes. So
the season is like here.
I know, right? It's just like boom. I looked at the calendar today. I'm like, it's the 15th, and I'm like, I got 11 days, and I got to do all. I got a lot of prep work I have to do. So, all right, Stu, I appreciate you doing this with me. I'm going to change the title of the video to Stu and Jaws ramble on uncontrollably about the Panthers or something like that.
I don't. Hey, all you guys that are watching this, put some comments in and tell us that you didn't mind us going off.
Off
topic.
We're gonna do. I'm sure we're gonna do at least one of these, like every week during the season to kind of wrap up the week and everything like that, and then we'll go from there. And I'm just glad that the time period where there's really nothing to react to is ending. Okay. I need games. I need things to happen to react to. That's my shtick. I'm not a news reporter. I'm a color analyst. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully I'm still, I got to be in touch with George and Randy and Billy about getting them back, but I'm still working on that special guest for us.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. Anything that happens is a bonus, and we'll all be happy for it. So,
I mean, if it happens, everybody will fall off their chairs. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Which for us at this age, that's not that hard anyway. I do it almost.
No promises, guys. No promises. Anyway, good talking to you.
Yeah, same here, bud. All right, we'll chat again soon.
Till next time.
Yep. Till next time.
No Panthers.
Yeah.